empezamos a pensar en esto de invitar a grandes referentes de la comunicación.
Nosotros entendemos que nuestros mejores años son los próximos 10.
Muchas gracias. I have become a brand. It took 2 minutes. Thank you. Buenos dias. This is the traditional kilt from Scotland. PP requested that I dress for the occasion, and I'm delighted to do so. The music that was playing there is by a band called the Proclaimers, and it has become the new Scottish national anthem. Scotland does not really have an official national anthem. We have to share our national anthem with England, which we don't like very much. So we like our own sense of identity. So the people have chosen 500 Miles by the Proclaimers as the unofficial Scottish national anthem, and they sing it at football matches and at rugby matches, and it's far better than God Save the Queen, we think. Anyway, thank you for having me. I would like... I met PP and Diego 3 years ago. They came to Edinburgh to a meeting we had there. And I was very impressed by the people, by the work, and they were a real inspiration. PP was kind enough to come to Edinburgh last year. We created what we call the Edinburgh International Marketing Festival. It's part of the biggest arts festival in the world in Edinburgh in August. And PP came, and we had a full day of presenters from throughout the world. And we asked at the end that the audience voted who was the best speaker. And by quite a long way, PP won. So we have a world champion in our midst. Not only is he a fantastic person and a great presenter, but the work was staggering, and he is a fantastic ambassador for Notable, for Montevideo and for Uruguay. So it's a pleasure for me to come back. It's terrific to be here to celebrate 10 years of Notable, and I have a gift for both Pipi and for Diego. This is one of my clients. It's the famous grouse. I'll tell you about this in a minute. And we have this special bottle produced for today, and it is the famous Notable. I have one more gift. Pipi was very keen that I wore a kilt, and I have brought this all the way from Scotland. It is a kilt that you can wear on the beach. Okay. So, Buenos Dias. The original idea when I was invited to come to Montevideo is I was very keen to do this presentation in Spanish. So I don't clap too soon. I found it very hard, but I've been learning Spanish for 6 months, once a week at Edinburgh University. So es un gran privilegio estar invitado aquí con todos ustedes. My Spanish teacher will be very proud of me. The rest is in English. Sorry. I just felt that with our friends from Brazil and Argentina, we were just fantastic intellectual level, and I just cannot compete, so I thought I'd just go for songs and sing along. I will tell you there are 3 parts to my presentation. I would like to tell you about my country and my city, mi país y mi ciudad, mi agencia, frame, and mi pasión por el marketing. I cannot do any better than you have just done, Ronald. My interpretation of what marketing is, it is half magica and half logica. It is part science, part art, part logic, and part rational and emotional, left brain, right brain. It's a combination, and that's what makes it the most wonderful tool that we have to develop brands and to build business and build business success. So that's why I'm passionate about marketing. I studied marketing at university. I've worked in marketing for 30 years, started in brands, moved into communications, but I love it. I think it's the best job in the world. And anybody in here who works in marketing is very privileged, I would say. I must say, thank you for the whiskey. All this Coca-Cola you put in whiskey, it's not... The only way to drink whiskey is a large glass, a small amount of water, which releases the flavours and the smell and the aroma, and then and for my next trick, okay. I met a good friend and colleague and business partner called Alan Freeman. He had an agency in Glasgow, and he had a very simple vision. He wanted to create something great. And I just liked the simplicity and the honesty of that. It wasn't about the biggest or the best. It was just a great agency he wanted to create. So I was seduced back into the world of marketing and marketing services. But I have 2 jobs. Half of my week I work in the agency as chairman. And that means I don't have to work too hard. I just have to try and make sure other people work hard. And the other half of the week I work for an organisation called the Marketing Society. It's a members' organisation, but it's there to promote marketing, a better understanding of marketing, a better appreciation, and better marketing practice. So half of my week is theory and half of my week is practice. And for me, it's the perfect balance. So that's what I do. Okay, the next slide. The Marketing Society... Oh, sorry. A bit thirsty. Is it okay? It's 4 o'clock. It's been a long day. Thank you. It's about inspiring bolder marketing leadership. That's what the Marketing Society is there to do, is to inspire. I'll talk about the Marketing Society later on. Next slide, please. Tell you a bit about Scotland. Scotland, like Uruguay, small country, 5 million people, but has got big neighbours. Our neighbours are England and Europe. We're a relatively small country in amongst the might of Europe, but we have a very strong sense of identity. 2 major cities in Scotland. Edinburgh, beautiful city. It has a castle. We have our own government there. We have festivals, the biggest festival in the world in August. And we have wonderful golf courses. We have, from where I live, I have 20 golf courses within 10 minutes drive of my house. It's just the best place in the world to live. The other city where Framer is based is Glasgow. It's another fantastic city. It's got an industrial past. It's a working city built on the River Clyde, famous for shipbuilding, but has seen better days. Shipbuilding is no longer the industry. I suppose in many ways it's a bit like Montevideo, I suppose. But it's great architecture and great people. Very smart city as well, very fashionable city. The next slide shows the merchant city. This is where Frame is based. It's I suppose the bohemian part of Glasgow, and it's wonderful characters, wonderful people, wonderful sense of humour, and it's a great place to live and work. Okay, so the brief I was given was if you could identify some trends that are happening in marketing and brands in Scotland. I've picked out 3. I don't think this is particular to Scotland. I think these are global themes. I think they are universal. Accountability. I think marketing is 50 years old, pretty much. And there has never been a more important time for us to be more accountable, more measurable. We need to deliver. We need to talk logic. We need to combine the logic and the magic. It's no longer acceptable just to come along with big ideas that happen to be creative. No longer. They have to be justifiable, measurable. We've got to be taken seriously in the boardroom. We've got marketing directors have got to get onto the board, and they've got to become chief executives. Marketing have got to start leading companies, and we will only be given that sense of authority if we become more accountable. So I would say that's a trend, and the Marketing Society is doing a lot of work to make us more accountable, more professional. Authenticity. The brands, we've had some fantastic presentations about the importance of authenticity, honesty. People have got to be real. They can't pretend to be something they're not, whether it's a country of origin, whether it's a transparency, whether it's a social or responsible requirement. Then consumers are absolutely desperate for authenticity. They are now looking at packaging. They know what's in where it comes from, whether it's good for you or not. So brands have got to be more and more authentic. And the final area is that of social marketing. Marketing as being a force for good. Marketing is often misunderstood. And quite often you hear people expressing marketing as actually being something slightly underhand, something a little bit dishonest, something you shouldn't be too proud to be involved in. Whereas marketing actually has a very important role to play in society, within the community, in terms of how you live your life, how healthy you are, how you treat your environment. Marketing and communications at the centre of all of these things, and therefore we have a real responsibility to our profession to use it. We had a debate just part of the festival last year, and the motion was, can marketing save the world? And I think that, it's a very good challenge, because marketing has got to, the message of what we must do to be more sustainable is hugely important, and only the effective communication of those messages will make a difference. So those are the three trends I would suggest that I'm aware of in Scotland and the UK. The Marketing Society role that I have, we have a vision. We want to build a world-class marketing community in Scotland. That sounds very ambitious. We think there's maybe reasons why we might be able to build a reputation. One of these is perhaps a reputation, the history that Scotland has for innovation and for invention. Some of the greatest inventors have come from Scotland, whether it be John Logie Baird in television, or Alexander Fleming, penicillin, or Alexander Graham Bell in the telephone. These are inventions that were conceived in Scotland. We also have a creative reputation. The next slide will show you 6 characters, which shows creativity, whether it be music, whether it be film, whether it be literature. However, I have a competition here. There is one person up there masquerading as a Scot, and he's not a Scot. So the first person to put up their hand and tell me who up there is not a Scot wins a prize. Does anybody know who? Who's not a Scot? Hand up. Do you know? Which one is not Scottish? Who? They are. Rod Stewart pretends to be Scottish. He wears a kilt. And he wears a tartan, but he's not a Scot. He just wants to be a Scot. Okay. One of my proudest achievements is I created a set of awards about 7 years ago. In fact, Mike Duncan won one 2 years ago in Glasgow, an international award we had. And I'm very proud of this because it shows the nature of the marketing community in Scotland. The Marketing Society has awards programme in the whole of the UK. We also have a separate awards programme in Scotland. There are more entries to the awards in Scotland, which is only 10% of the population of the UK, than are entered into the entire United Kingdom. Such is the competitive nature and sense of community that they have in Scotland. And I wanted to show you one example which I think is very creative and you might relate to. It's the brand you will never heard of probably. It's a brand, it's called Iron Brew. It's a soft drink. And Scotland is one of the only markets in the world where Coke is not the #1 soft drink brand. Iron Brew is. And the reason, it's a very unusual taste, and it's quite often used as a hangover cure. So the morning after, if you've had too many whiskies, then the morning after you would have Iron Brew. It helps regenerate you. Iron Brew has been a hugely successful brand. It was #2 in the competition of best Scottish brands. And the reason why it was been successful is it absolutely engages with the psyche of Scotland and what it is to be Scottish, the unique sense of humour. And this campaign, there's a little film I'll show you which will explain it better than I do, but the simple idea is Scotland are very poor at football these days. We used to be quite good. The last time we qualified for the World Cup was in 1998 in France, but we keep on failing to qualify. We're glorious in our failures. So the idea behind this campaign is if we can get Scots to get together with Brazilians, we could produce future babies that will play for Scotland in the future. So we could win the world. It's a long-term campaign for us to win the World Cup in 2034 by combining Brazil and Scotland. The film will show you.
Iron Brew, Scotland's national soft drink, were looking for an idea to capture the imagination of Scots during the World Cup in South Africa. But our national team missed out on qualification again. So we came up with a campaign to encourage single Brazilians to come over to Scotland to have our babies and make us magic at football. It's World Cup glory guaranteed in 2034. We kicked off with an appeal to the good people of Brazil, placing personals ads in a national newspaper. We flew a banner along Copacabana Beach and put up posters around Rio. In the week running up to the World Cup itself, we recruited Scottish footballing legend Archie Gemmill to launch the campaign over here. At the same time, the official website went live with details of the story, a Brusil blog, chances to win some 2034 team kit, and a series of online films following the campaign.